Dear taxi drivers, taxi brands, taxi companies, let's chat. Because I have a problem seemingly every time I start the process of making the booking to getting into the taxi, because it's tricky. And I want to start the conversation, and also just to make sure that we can have a conversation, let me know what you think. Comment, subscribe, like, let me know what you think. But let's start at the very beginning of the whole taxi journey process for me, which is when I make that booking. What? You still have to call to book a taxi? What year is this? You know yourself that the big brands out there make it easy to make a booking by using apps. But if you're asking me to call you, well, it's not just of me, who is deaf, hard of hearing, to not even want to make a call, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't want to make that call easier. It's just more convenient and easier and quicker to make that booking via an app. So if you are one of those companies that don't do that, then you're going to be left behind. However way that booking is done, if there is an option to state our accessibility needs, well, that will make your job easier and my job easier as well. Just so we can get it out there. This is the situation. For example, I can't hear when I'm in a car with you. I'm deaf, so I'm not going to talk to you in the car. Which brings me nicely to the next section, which is the moment I step into the car, the driver wants to start to have a conversation, which is nice, and I get it. Start a conversation, it's sociable, it's friendly, you want to give a good service, I get it, totally get it. But let me tell you right now that I am in no way going to be able to have a good conversation with you, and for most deaf and hard of hearing people, it's just not going to happen. For people like myself, I depend on face-to-face and a bit of lip reading and somewhere in a quiet environment as well. It's the complete opposite in a taxi though, because I will not be face-to-face with you. It is impossible to lip read you because I can only see your eyes in the mirror at the top, and in a car it's the worst place for me to have a conversation. Not just in your car, not just in a taxi, any car. Too noisy, I can't hear anyone, whether it's beside me or in front of me, doesn't matter. So let's just say out there, me having a conversation with you in a taxi, like many deaf and hard of hearing people, impossible. If you're insisting on having a conversation in a car, well, this is going to be a recipe for disaster, or it could be some hilarious outtakes where there's going to be miscommunication, misunderstanding, and it'll just get awkward. And there are examples of that in the description. I can show you them if you want to see that, but it's not going to be ideal, preferably. Bear in mind though that those who are more profoundly deaf will maybe not be able to do it at all, and those who communicate only via sign language, well, obviously the conversation will be non-existent, because even if you can signing and driving, I'd rather have your hands on the steering wheel rather than up in the air and communicating to the person behind you. So yeah, just hands on the steering wheel. I am aware in some taxis there are microphones where the driver will speak into that microphone, and there is a tiny little speaker in the passenger side beside you, and that comes out from there. Now for most people that'd be great, but again, it's not a solution for me because it does not mean I'll be able to hear that. And yes, sometimes those taxis have a loop technology, but again, not everyone wears them, not everyone uses them, and it's still going to be a noisy environment. So even if I flick on the loop technology on my hearing aid, it's not going to work there either. There are various ways to communicate. If you want to use technology and use those speech to text technology and have a way to communicate, that could work, possibly. I've seen a few of them, I've seen some videos, again you can check it out in the description, and yes, that could work. But I'm getting the impression that people in my situation, on most occasions, I'm guessing that it's just easier to not have a conversation. So if I'm not talking to you, if I have my headphones on, if I say to you, I can't hear you, it's legit, I can't hear you. And that applies to all deaf and hard of hearing people. But if you do want to relay messages, if there's something that needs to be said, then okay, a simple pen and paper will do the trick, and that's it. Apart from that, let's make sure that I make your job easier. Let's make sure that, my journey as a passenger is less stressful and everyone's happy. You're happy, I'm happy. Great. If you do have any questions though, leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think, what is your process, and even I'd love to hear from fellow deaf and hard of hearing passengers on what do they think when they go on a taxi journey. How is it for them? Just so we can share our experiences with other taxi drivers as well. So just make your job easier. That's all we want to do. And of course, in the meantime, I will speak to you again soon. Take care.